Hello, Delorean community. Thought I'd do a video update this time since I've done so much and it's been a little bit since I did any kind of meaningful update to the group. So here we go. Obviously you can see I've got some things installed in the front of the frame. Silly me, I busted the side tank of my radiator, which is no surprise. Obviously it's the original radiator. I was hoping to run it for a little while, but I think that kind of made up my mind for me. Obviously I'm not going to be able to use this radiator, so I'm now saving to buy a all aluminum radiator, most likely from Houston. I've got my steering rack over on the bench over there. I'm kind of deciding whether to buy a new one or attempt to rebuild on my original. Doing some research on that now. I do have updated fans on the original shroud there. Also need to source a new air conditioning condenser because that one just appears to be bad. So. Besides the condenser, I also need the air conditioning line that goes across the front frame extension from the evaporator core over to, from the evaporator core to the front side of the condenser. And what else I got going on up here? You may see I'm using the return line actually as a feed line because I've done a carb conversion on this car. I'm running, I put the hand-cooked tires on, had my wheels powder coated earlier this summer, so that turned out really nice. I'll be getting new lug nuts at some point. Here I have all the coolant heater hoses installed in place. The air conditioning line is down there with it as well. Got my battery cables in place. I bought the new braided stainless steel and coated lines from Delorean Go all the way around, obviously. Hubs and everything are in place. I am working on the axles now. I still need to put in the emergency brake cables. And the big progression was getting the engine and transmission back in. Just did that last weekend. Also got the stainless braided clutch line. I got a new clutch fork and boot, and the slave cylinders in place, a new one as well. I am reusing the original exhaust. I cleaned up the manifolds and I got stainless steel studs and the top copper nuts. All those are in place. I got the stainless steel heat shield put in place. The muffler's back on. And I also got this the heat shield for the starter. There you can see I had the asbestos one still in there when I got the car, so I got that stainless steel guy in there. I have the CS130 alternator, and I went through all that installation earlier this year when I got the car, when I was getting it running. So that's all good to go and hooked back up. You can see my engine harness is a lot cleaner because I've taken out all the K-Jet wiring, and then I rewrapped it with like the fabric wire tape. And there's the carburetor setup with a custom welded manifold. That is Bill Robertson's handiwork there. Great setup, great kit, dropped right in, and then once I had the timing figured out, it started right up and ran like a dream, so that was all good. Got rid of the catalytic converter, and I'm running a bypass pipe down there. Let's see what else. All the coolant pipes are installed. I'm ready to go. Not much else going on this side of the car. Let's see. All the lines. Yeah, I'll be taking a look at my shifter here in a week or two, see if I need to do anything to that before I drop it in. Seemed like it was in decent shape before, so we'll probably end up just dropping it in there. Alright, that's it on the frame. Over here you can see I started rebuilding my axles. Some of you guys might have seen a post I made the other day about my boots, which are not torn, but I was concerned that they're original, so I've already obviously got the axle apart, so I'm just gonna change them out. And I think I should have been a little bit more clear on my post, because I was more concerned about, you know, who's got the better quality boots out there, because I don't want to have to do this again anytime soon. You can see I got my steering rack here on the bench. Obviously the boots are torn here. Tie rod ends definitely need to be replaced. And I mean, to my untrained eye, besides those things, I think it's in decent shape. I don't really feel any play in there. But I'm gonna give a call probably to Rob Grady and see what he has to say, if there's things I can look for. I guess I can talk about this other thing that's been pretty discouraging to me. Is I started stripping the paint off of the T-panel. So I initially used aircraft paint remover, which was a messy and painful process. But then I bought a handy little soda blaster from Harbor Freight, and basically soda blasted from here all the way down to this area where you can see I kind of left off there. That took me probably 3 hours worth of time and at least 150-pound bag of soda, so that seems to be not really economical, and I kind of was just experimenting really, so I wasn't sure which way I was going to end up going with it. But the problem you can probably see in the pictures is that there is a ton of scratches and gouges and stuff from where they had to do a bunch of filler. I don't know if you can see right there, but that's like 1/8 of an inch thick filler. And this is in the T-panel on the roof, so there's little dimples, you know, in a handful of spots. And so I'm thinking maybe this car got hailed on, although it did spend most of its time in Florida and then North Carolina and then in Pennsylvania. And I live in Florida now, but I haven't seen hail here yet, so I don't know about North Carolina or Pennsylvania if they have hail issues up there or not. But I guess my concern is if I've got, you know, a dozen dimples in my T-panel, how many dimples do I have in the hood? And do I want to go through the pain and anguish of trying to get the dimples out, or source a new hood, source new doors, because there's going to be dimples in the top of the doors. There's probably dimples along the top of the fenders. Or is the universe just trying to tell me that this is meant to be a painted car? So I'm kind of thinking, at least that's the way I'm leaning right now. I'm not a huge fan of white. I'm more of a blue kind of guy. So I've seen a handful of cars out there painted blue, and I think they look awesome. But I haven't seen a car painted like a bright blue, like an Alpine blue from Pontiac, you know, of days past, or a B5 blue that Dodge puts on their cars nowadays, which I love those colors. Alpine blue could be cool because it was a car or a paint color that they put on the GTO. So I don't know. We'll see how I feel. That's how I feel right now, you know. Time will tell. Anyway, thanks for watching this long, and I'll check in with you guys again.